Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be my revert story or convert story, whatever you want to say, to Islam. I'm making this because when I was going through the process of converting in learning about Islam, I watched a lot of convert stories and they really helped me know that I wasn't the only one with a family who might not be approving of my choice of religion and stuff like that. So I thought that I would make this video to help other people and just to share my story. So a little bit about me and my past. I grew up in a Christian household from the South. My mom is from Arkansas and my dad is from Oklahoma. My great-grandpa was a Methodist pastor until he wasn't able to be a pastor anymore when he was too old. We used to go to his services. We used to go to services where we lived in Michigan. Stuff like that. I went to a private Lutheran school when I was young. Not because it was a Lutheran school, but because it was the best school in the area for me. But I did attend religion classes. We did chapel every Wednesday. We sang hymns. We did all that kind of stuff. I loved being a part of something, being a part of the church, having a community to be in. But a lot of the beliefs that Christians had, they didn't sit well with me. I didn't particularly believe in them. I know this is something everyone says, the whole Father, Son, and Holy Ghost thing, that really got me. I didn't understand it. When I questioned it, I was shut down and told not to question it. So that was something that I really didn't like about the church. So going into 7th grade, when I was in 6th grade, my private school ended up shutting down because I think there wasn't enough funding or something. There wasn't enough kids going to be enrolled in the school, so it ended up shutting down. So we moved to a different city. My parents were wanting to move anyway so that they could be closer to their jobs. And so we moved closer into the Metro Detroit area, which is, I feel like there's a pretty decent Muslim population here. And where we lived before, there was pretty much everyone I knew was white and Christian. There was 3 people of color at my private school. So it was really just white and Christian where I lived before. And then we moved here to where we live now, and there was just tons of diversity, and I love it here. Like, it's amazing. But one thing I noticed was women wearing headscarves, and I was very curious about it. So I don't remember if it was 7th grade or 8th grade when I originally started looking into Islam, but it was somewhere in middle school when I started looking into it. So really, at first, it was just I looked up what the headscarf was, what it meant, that kind of stuff. And then I got more curious and I ordered this book online called Does My Head Look Big in This? And it's basically about this Australian girl, and she decides to put on the hijab for the first time. And it was an amazing book, and it was just about the challenges she faced wearing a hijab for the first time, how it fit in with her school uniform and that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? It was really, really good, and I was even more interested. And so at night I would go on my phone, and after my parents were asleep, I would go on my phone and I would go on a private browser just in case my parents wanted to check my phone the next day or something. And I went on a private browser and I just researched Islam all night long and read articles about it and read people's blog posts and that kind of stuff. And so I did that for a while, and then I ordered a Quran online, a mini pocket-sized one. It's on my bookshelf over there, sitting on top on display. And so I was so scared my parents would find it, and I would hide it in a new place. Every time I read it, I would hide it in a new place so that my parents wouldn't find it, because I was so scared of what my parents' reaction would be. And so I would hide it in a new place every time, but then I would forget where I hid it, and it was lost for months. And then I would find it again and fall in love again and read it. And At first I didn't really read it, I just stared at it in awe, and I wanted to read it, but I was too scared to read it because I thought it was something I could never have, because of my family and what they would think. And that was always a big part of why I didn't take my shahada sooner, is my family. I didn't want to disappoint my family. I didn't want to upset them, any of that. I just wanted my family to be happy with me and all that kind of stuff. So eventually, throughout time, I kind of forgot about it. It was a lot of on and off, you know what I mean? So I would learn everything I could for a month or for 3 weeks or something, and I would learn everything I could, and then I would stop for 5 months and learn nothing, try not to think about it. This wasn't something I could have. I just forgot about it. And so then I would pick it up again and do everything I could. So my freshman year of high school, we watched this video in my science class, and it was one of those videos about like animals and like blah blah blah, like the so it was one of those videos that kind of showed you inside the meat industry and how horrible it is. And so I was like, I'm gonna be a vegetarian. And I was like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna be a vegetarian. So that lasted about 6 months, and then I was like, no, I can't do this, like this is not for me. Like, but I did decide that I wasn't going to eat pork anymore. So I started eating beef and chicken again, and I never started eating pork again. And to this day I haven't had pork, and it's been almost 5 years since I've eaten bacon or whatever. Not eating pork, I guess, was my way of practicing without really practicing. It was my way of, one day I want to do this, I want to convert one day, and one day this is going to be something that's just going to be easier for me down the road. I won't have to give it up later. Like, I've already given it up from being a vegetarian. Like, I'm just not going to keep eating it. Like, not eating pork was my way of practicing Islam without really practicing it. Does that make sense? So eventually my mom figured out that I was really interested in Islam, because she's my mom. She knows everything about me. I don't know how she didn't find out sooner. She probably did and just didn't say anything to me. But she's like, well, let's get you a real Quran, let's take you to the mosque, let's do all this stuff that Muslims do. And I was like, I was all for it. I was really excited. And then I remember the rest of my family, and I was like, I can't do this. Like, I have 2 of my family members have been openly against Muslims, and nothing against them. It's because they don't understand, and because they're scared. That they don't understand and they're scared, and that's not their fault. It's the way they were raised. They don't know any different. But it scared me, and I didn't want them to talk about me the way that they talk about other Muslims. Then in my senior year of high school in 2017, my grandpa passed away, and it really made me realize that something can happen at any moment and I could die. And I don't want to die as a Christian. I want to die as a Muslim. I want to have a Muslim funeral. I want all of this. I don't want to be a Christian, and if I die tomorrow, I will die a Christian, and that's not what I want. So I bought myself a Quran, and it's beautiful. It's made specifically for converts, reverts, people who are interested in Islam, who don't understand it. It's amazing and beautiful, and I'm gonna link it down below. After I bought my Quran, I was reading it, and I was really like getting really into it, getting into Islam again, and loving it and all this stuff. And I was like, okay, I'm ready to take my shahada. I'm ready, like I really want to do this. And so I texted my friend, really the only Muslim person that I knew, And I texted her and I was like, hey, I want to take my shahada, can you like help me set it up? Like, I don't know what to do, can you please help me? And she's like, yeah, of course. But on January 12th of 2018, I finally took my shahada after like 5 years of wanting to. So it wasn't easy getting to this point, and I'm still struggling a lot with things, but it's going good. I'm still learning how to pray. I've got most of the motions down. It's been a really long process, but hopefully soon I will have that all down. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below, and I will see you guys next time.